Howdy YouTube, and welcome to the Comic Fix, where today I am doing my top 5 comics of the week out of this 17 book stack. Now, I just got off work, hence the scrubs, and my dog's like, I want some loving! So, I had to give him some nice loving. And it's now time to talk about my top 5 books for this week. Now, just to let you guys all know, I have not read every single book that came out. I barely read Marvel. I only read 2 of the books, and none of them made the top 5. But what did make the top 5 are some awesome books. And I have to say, having all these books, you think you're going to get a lot of duds, or some duds in the lot. But everything in this week, I enjoyed. But these top 5 are some of the best of the week. And then coming at number 5, we have Red Hood Outlaw, issue number 27. I have to say, this book has surprised the hell out of me. I have not read any of the Red Hood and the Outlaws since the New 52. And going into this with Scott Liddell and the whole entire Jason Todd being thrown out of Gotham. And what has come out of it has been an amazing story. Now, this issue is almost a tie-in, or is a tie-in to Heroes in Crisis. And with that, I have to say, DC has done a wonderful job with their tie-ins. I love how I don't see the tie-in saying on the book where you see a lot of Marvel and DC in the past where they're like, hey, this is a direct tie-in, you better pick it up. There's none of that here. And I felt like the whole tie-in really doesn't mess with the story that's being told in Outlaw. I love the moment where you have Jason Todd going through America, and he's just like at a truck stop, and he gets into some fight, and then Bruce Wayne shows up and tells him about the death of Arsenal. And the interaction between Bruce and Jason were some of the things that made this book so special. And the way that the artwork depicts this, especially in the part where you see them hugging and see the puddle with showing them as Batman and Robin, are some beautiful stuff. And then to get the end where it kind of gives us a little hint of where the series is going to go from there, this book right here is something I'm definitely going to be picking up a lot more. And I really just picked it up for the lenticular cover. But after reading this issue, this book's definitely going on the pull list. So this was number 5. And at number 4, we have from Aftershock, Moth and Whisper, issue number 2. Aftershock has easily become one of my favorite publishers. Their books are so different. And Moth and Whisper is a story like Mission Impossible, where you had these characters, Moth and Whisper, and they passed away. And now their son has taken up the mantle of both of them. And what comes out of it is something that's just absolutely a joy to read. Especially with the whole Mission Impossible-esque elements in here. Where you have our main character who is living in a society where cameras are everywhere. And all these cameras know where everyone is at one time. So he's using all these different disguises to get to wherever he needs to go. He's breaking into a party. And what becomes of it is some fun-ass reading. I know a lot of you guys are not going to see this book into your stores. But when this series comes out in a trade paperback, I would highly recommend Moth and Whisper. And I cannot wait to see where the series is going to go with the next issue. And I'll give a full review of everything once the trade paperback comes out. I'll be like, here's my full entire thoughts on the series. I just don't want to ruin everything for the people that are reading it, because with it being independent, the less spoilers and the more intrigue you can give into the book, saying, hey, this is why I like it, maybe you will too. Just, that's what I kind of was trying to do, where I'm not trying to tell the whole entire story. I'm just saying, here you go. Here's my little parts I like about this book. Now, coming in at number 3 is Hawkman, issue number 5. I have not read any of the Hawkman series that just started. The only reason why I picked it up was because my comic shop was like, hey, we know you like DC, and you don't have this book as your pull, but we'll just pull it for you just because of lenticular. And I was like, awesome, cool. And then to come to find out that this is a brand new start of a new story arc. So I was like, okay, I could probably go into this book, not really need to know much of anything, and just go from there. And that's the thing I like, okay? A lot of books, especially in comics, you never know when to start. But Hawkman issue number 5 is definitely a great place to start if you're looking at picking up this series. Now, the storyline is that Hawkman's looking into his past. And his past lives are trying to hint to him something that's going to come into the future. So he's going into the microverse and he meets up with the Atom. The great thing about this is that right now on eBay, I'm looking at getting the first team up between Hawkman and Atom. So it was just cool though, just to not even know that I was going to be getting a Hawkman and Atom team up in this book. But I did. And it was amazing. The chemistry between these two characters was just perfection. The joy of reading this book was amazing. And the art in here by Brian Hitch is superb. Some of these layouts in this issue are amazing, where you're just like, wow, Brian Hitch. I remember reading some of your independent stuff and enjoying it, but now that you're not writing the book and drawing the book, and you're just taking the time with the art, it's just absolutely superb. And I'm very intrigued to see where the series goes from here, because anything seems like it could be possible. Especially with Hawkman finding out that he's had past lives in Krypton. He's had past lives as in Apocalypse or in the New Gods area. I forget what that area is called. And then to find out that he had a life in the microverse is all such intriguing stuff that at the end of the day, I was like, I need to buy every single issue that came up before, because this right here is some intriguing stuff that makes me just love DC all that much more. Especially that art, that cover art. It's so nice. Now, coming in at number 2 is Wonder Woman issue number 56. Now, just like all the other ones, I never picked up. I haven't been reading Wonder Woman. I was kind of waiting for that new writer to come on board. But then you got the whole crossover between Justice League Dark and Wonder Woman with the Witching Hour. I was really worried about picking this book up, but once I found out that James Tynion IV was writing it, my worries became less and less. And knowing that there's one voice in this big old this little minor crossover has made this book flow so much better. Everything in here is a mystery. There's so much stuff that I'm intrigued with every single turn of the page of where it's going to go next. And I love how this book starts with Wonder Woman talking about how in the past when she first saw a unicorn and how mystical it was. And then to see that Wonder Woman and her team of Justice League Dark have to go and abduct one of these beautiful creatures. And there was the one panel where you saw the eye of the unicorn. And for some reason, that panel of that eye, that fear that was in the eye, just won me over. And to see this crusade that Wonder Woman's on, and all the different areas that the Justice League Dark go to, it had me enthralled all the way through. Yes, there are a lot of exposition, but I feel like the payoff that's going to be in the Witching Hour is going to be highly, highly worth it. And James Tynion, it's amazing to see how much better he has gone since his days on Talon. And coming in at number 1 for this week, we have with Aftershock, we have Hot Lunch Special issue number 3. Hot Lunch Special. What can I say about this? This right here, if you love independent books, you need to be reading this. It's such a good crime drama, where in the first issue, you just get the setup. You get to understand the world of Hot Lunch Special, where you have a family who has this little business. Now, they have signed up with the mafia to basically go and export their food to all these different places. And the mafia has said, all right, you allow us to go and use your trucks to smuggle drugs or whatnot, and we will help you guys out. Well, the family wants out of that whole drug deal. And the repercussion is that the mafia decides that they're going to go shoot up one of their restaurants. And a little boy was in there. The little boy gets killed. And we've been dealing with the repercussions of that. And it's all gorgeous. You have in here these characters that are so real and so full of life, that they're so well written that you start to care about them. And in this issue, we have a death that comes out of nowhere. And you thought that you had a character that you're going to follow all the way through to the end. And to have them pulled under the rug just made me go, where will this book go next? This book has a feel of sometimes feels like black and white. And then when the colors come in, it's just perfect. This book right here, I feel, is one of the best books that I'm reading in all of my stacks of comics each and every week. Anytime a Hot Lunch Special comes out, I'm uber excited. I know it'll be hard for anybody to go and try to find these issues. But when it comes back in trade paperback, I would highly, highly recommend everybody to pick this up. Now, that was my top 5 comics for this week. Soon, I'll have a whole setup where I won't be holding the camera with my hand. But my joke right here, he's like, oh, David, you gotta make me warm. But I love comics. Yes, I pick up a lot of them every single week. They just bring a joy to my face. And those 5 comics right there, if I didn't pick up any other books this week and just pick up those 5, they would make it worth it. And what did you guys pick up this week, and what were your top 5s for the week? Let me know down below. As always, my name's David Lee, and I'll be doing a part 2 of this video with all my other comics that I picked up this week. My name's David Lee, and I'll see you guys next time.